What's up, growers? I hope you're having a good day, good weekend. So Seedsman Saturday came a little bit late. I had a little injury at work, nothing too serious. I got metal shards in my eye and I rubbed it and it ended up breaking up into a bunch of pieces. So it's a little bit late, but I still want to get down here and give you this because these are really starting to explode. And I really think it's a cultivar you should try. This is the PEYOTE Skittles from Seedsman, and it is beyond crushing it. We have 3 plants in here, and if you watch the whole grow, you can see that these just been blowing up over time. The front one was a runt, but it was able to catch up, and this has just been an awesome grow. So now we're at the stage where everything's starting to get their terpenes, everything's starting to become their own genetic form, their own phenos from running from seed, which is my favorite part because any one grow or any one seed could have different phenos to it, different leaves, different stretching, different smells, different tastes. So right now the PEYOTE Skittles, it's showing off its Skittle form. I haven't smoked the PEYOTE Wi-Fi, which is what the Skittles is crossed with. Put in some notes if you've grown it before and you've smoked it, and maybe let me know what the terp profile was like and if you got a little gas, because right now I'm getting all fruit from this Skittles, which is really cool because that's what I was looking for. As I talked about before, we're going to be keeping the tops for my smoked flour, and we're going to be processing the bottom into bubble hash, and then I will be turning that into rosin with my boy Canamat. So we're in week 7 of flower right now. There's nothing really we're doing in these bigger beds. We're watering only. We're even doing some dryback, so the watering isn't as frequent as you would usually do in flower. So there's sometimes I'm going 2-3 days without watering these. Not enough to see wilt. You don't want these to wilt, but you want to make the nutrients more available, make the plants stress and work a little bit harder. That's what they put the trichomes out for. It's a defense mechanism for them. The stickiness, it makes bugs and stuff stick to them. So you can see we're starting to get a little yellow fade here. I don't think that's a nutrient issue. I just think these plants are telling me that they're on their way out. These are, it's been an amazing grow. So you can get your trichome or your looper out, which I have right here. It's a little too early right now because you can see we still have a lot of pistils standing straight up. I like to see those curl brown and orange up on you. So they're not right now, but we can play around and look through our looper. It's just a simple looper. This one's from AC Infinity. It's got a light on it. And you just go in here and you don't want to look at your leaves. You want to look at the actual nugs. And keep in mind, I don't like to look at the outer nugs because that's where most of my human interaction is coming from. So brushing into a bud or running into it or just the fan blowing on it, it can cause these pistil or these trichomes to turn early and give you an amber to where you think that you're ready to chop when you're really not. You just happen to come into contact and make that trichome burst. So try to look at some of your lowers too. You don't want to just take all tops because these are going to finish quicker than your lowers. They just have more light. They have everything that they need, so the lowers may take a little bit while. I've even heard of some people chopping half the plant, leaving or harvesting the top and leaving the bottom to finish another week or 2 to get them lowers a little bit more of the whatever you're looking for. You can do a 70% to 30%, which when I say that would be like 70% amber, 30% clear or cloudy, sorry. And so when you're getting deep into flower, you don't want clear trichomes. That's just underdeveloped trichomes. They're not ready yet. When you start getting to the cloudy, the mixes of the amber, that's when you're trying to look to harvest. If you're trying to get a more CBD, a sedating, you can let these go even longer and get more amber to cloudy trichomes. I like to keep it on the cloudier side. I'm a day smoker, so I don't really want to be fully medicated during the day. I just like a good buzz, so I like to keep it mostly cloudy, but that's what's fun about this. You can play with it, and some aren't going to matter whether you take them cloudy or all the way to amber. They just are going to be such a dominant indica effect that they're going to give you what you're looking for no matter what you do with the trichomes. So really, that's all we're doing right now. Like I said, you can look at the trichomes a little too early. I like to look at pistils more than trichomes. Some people go other ways, but like I said, a lot of things can happen to make your trichomes turn orange. Some don't even ever turn orange, I've heard. I haven't had this happen, but it can be and has been an issue before. So look to the pistils, look to the stacking. If you're noticing stacking and your nugs are getting more swell and swell, she's not done yet because they're gonna swell up and then they're gonna go through this ripening stage to where they're not growing anymore. They're just kind of finishing off and doing their thing. So kind of look for that. If you're noticing fattening through 4, 5, 6 weeks, and then at the 7th week it's starting to slow down, you can probably anticipate that it's going to be an 8 to 9 week flower. Now, if you're getting more into the 7 to 8 week flowering and you're still noticing stacking, you could have a 10, 11 week strain on your hand. So keep that in mind when you're starting to look at trichomes, you're looking at pistils. Think about how they've been growing. Are they still stacking? Are they still putting on new growth? And with the new growth too, you want to make sure that if you are feeding these and you're putting a lot of nitrogen into their food, they are going to still try to grow and stretch. They're going to be giving more food than they really don't need at this point. So that's where we start to do dry backs and lower back on the nutrients. And that's why I stop in week 2, week 3 of flower, because I know that I have enough nutrients in the soil to sustain, but I don't want to pump these through for new growth. I want these to finish off and focus on their nugs and not growing green material. So that's just my thought about it. It's not one way that you have to go. It's not a complete fact. I think we're all still starting to learn so much about these plants. The universities are starting to be more available to give us actual science behind it, which is what I want to stand behind. If I do throw bro science out, I'm going to let you know that this is just my opinion. This is just maybe an article I read, and it does not make it fact. I'm just telling you what I've encountered in my garden. I've only been growing for 2.5 years now, but time after time again, I'm learning more about how these plants interact. You want to be one with these plants. Watch them, like I said, with the stacking and the stretching. You're going to want to learn these phases, not just by counting weeks, but by the look of the plant and what it's doing. It's going to give you a better aspect of what's really going on in these plants, where it's not a guessing game. And that's kind of the reason I switched from synthetic years ago to organic, because I wasn't understanding what I was doing and I didn't want to play the guessing game. I want to know what's in my soil. I want to know what I need to put in my soil, and I don't want to mix a bunch of stuff that I'm playing a guessing game with and playing around with pH. There's nothing wrong with that. I just think this is the easier way. This is hands down the best way I feel that you can grow, especially with a busy lifestyle. I'm on the road constantly, like I say time and time again, but I just want to preach that you don't have to be in your garden every day to get the results that I have here. I get these results time and time again. Check out my Instagram. We're new to YouTube, so I don't want to have a lot of backing on here, but I can promise you that I'm just here to share love and knowledge of what I know. And if it's bro science, like I said, I'll let you know. I'm not going to sit here and lead you down a path that's going to lead you to failure or a guessing game. I want us to grow by facts, science, soil science, the right PPFDs. What is the leaves telling you? Are they browning? Are they curling because you're too close to the light? Or are they getting dry tips because you're not watering enough? This is stuff that I'm going to keep touching. We're going to repeat processes. We're going to keep talking about how these plants grow in a more scientific term or way that's, like I said, not a guessing game, because I don't like to play the guessing game. I want to know what's going on. I want to know why a plant is finishing, or if it's getting new growth, why is it getting new growth? Did I feed it too much? Is it just a late flower, 10, 11, 12 weeks? Because some people take these, I've heard people taking plants 13, 14 weeks and they're still having cloudy trichomes. So the trichomes don't always tell the story. Like I said, we're at the point now to where we're watering only, we're taking our time, we're looking at the pistils and the trichomes, and it's a good time to look now, because then you can watch that stage from them go to cloudy to clear to amber. Pick one nug, make a mark with a leaf. You can pull a little section of a leaf off if that's going to help you identify which one you're continually looking at. And like I said, try to look for stuff in the middle, not to where you come in contact. Like these back ones here, with me making these videos, I brush these, and I bet they have more amber trichomes than they do up here because of me bursting those trichomes. So we really don't have a lot. Like I said, we're just really right now, we're looking for smells, we're looking for terps, we're looking at trichomes, we're looking at pistils turning. If you're new to growing and you're worried about humidity, you can pull a lot of these fan leaves. You're not gonna hurt anything, especially when they're on the downside. You don't wanna go too crazy and start causing stress to these plants, but a little bit of stress is good in flower. And in any stage of growing, I believe that they're meant to deal with it. That's when they put their defense mechanisms, their defense shields up, and they start doing stuff to protect themselves, whether that be putting on new trichomes or branching more in vegetation because you topped it, I should say. And there's always a reason to why we do stuff in this garden, and I'm here to preach to you that what I do is what you see, what you get. I don't hide any secrets. We're way behind on defoliation, but I have right environment. I have good fans, I got good lighting, I got good air coming in, good air going out. I leave this tent open in flower just to keep the humidity down even more. We're at 55, 54% humidity right now, And that's a good number for me. Some people may not like it. They want to get down to the 50s, and that's okay too. And if you're running 45, 50% humidity, you could leave this canopy with all these leaves and not worry about too much moisture, too much humidity. If you're in the 55 to 60 range, make sure your environment's on point, because you can get overlapping leaves, you can cause mold, you can cause botrytis, you can cause a bunch of things. So if you're gonna run this heavy of a leaf tent, I call it a leaf tent, but I just haven't defoliated in a long time, which I should have, but life gets busy, and that's why I'm showing you. Like, you can still get amazing harvests and not have to defoliate every few days or every week if you don't want to. Just environment is everything if you're gonna skip some steps as far as defoliating. So I won't keep you much more. I'm gonna go ahead and just give you guys some more close-ups and kind of give you a better look at these nugs. I know the camera view's not the best, but I do like to talk to you guys about what we got going on in here. And I'm gonna keep sharing the love and knowledge. Keep checking out the 8x8 series. We got a lot of cool stuff going in there. We got a new sponsor of the grow, Vivo Sun, sent us a 4x4 and a new 300 watt light. We're gonna be setting up that here soon. So Trader Grows got in here. We got the PEYOTE Glue Skies. PEYOTE Skittles are finishing it. So we're gonna need you to kind of help. What seedsman genetic are we gonna run next? So let's go ahead, growies. Let's dive in and take a look at these beautiful, beautiful flowers we got here. All right, guys, so like we said, this is week 7 of flower. You can see that we're getting a little bit of the pistils turning. You can see a little bit of orange in there, but there's still a lot of new pistils growing. So that's telling me that these aren't ready yet. They're still swelling up. They're still putting on weight, which is when you don't want to cut them. They're going to start ripening, I think, here in about the next week or two. I'm hoping to get these cut down in about week 9 of flower, but I don't ever want to cut early. I like to cut to what I'm looking after, whether that be a more amber CBD smoke or if I'm looking at more clear to cloudy smoke. So you can see that we got some serious density here. We can take you out back here a little bit more, and you see these are standing straight up. They're not ready yet. Got some turning in there. We're looking at the pistils. We're looking at the trichomes. Look at your stacking to let you know next time how you want to defoliate. So you can see these are pretty good stackers here. I wish I could get you guys a little bit better view. But say you run these another time, keep this in mind that these like to stack lower nugs. So we don't have to defoliate or lollipop up as high. So now if these were all larvae from here and I only got 3 good nugs up top, next grow, I'd want to make sure to defoliate and lollipop this down so I knew I had good dense flowers. Nobody likes to trim larvae flower. It is not fun. So keep that in mind. That's why I say let the plant do the talking. You learn from the plant. You can see we got a little fading here, a little tip burn here. That's from the drought stress, you know, less watering. When you start seeing these dry tips in organic, it's kind of like a nutrient burn, what you want to say, but it really is just underwatering, which is what we're after. Get the soil full of food, full of everything that you need, and then let it just rock. So I appreciate you guys for following along. I'm excited to keep bringing you guys content. I'm excited to have a smoke report with this with my guy, Ken and Matt. We'll be taking it to the 8x8 tent to smoke and talk about it. If you haven't seen our smoke report and Build a Soil Days episode, go check it out. And stay tuned, Gromies, because we're going to keep growing, keep sharing the knowledge, and the plants are just going to keep getting more and healthy with the same soil. So go organic. Take a chance, take a leap, get a hold of me, mechanibusluke@gmail.com. I want to talk about it. I love teaching you guys. I love learning from you guys. So stay tuned, Gromies. Much love, and I hope you have a good rest of the weekend.